time to talk about it right now, and then we'll talk about the project. So, kind of talked about defragging, and when we showed the defragmentation program, it showed the whole thing as basically lots of little, it showed a whole table full of boxes, right? And we saw that they were red and that they were green and they were defragmented, they were one color. In fact, I'll go ahead and bring it up again to refresh what I'm talking about. I'm going to use, which one was the crappy one? Trail 2 was the crappy one, wasn't it? Let's go to Trail 4. I haven't looked at that one. That's a stupid one. And I just remade Trail 4, so it should not be very fragmented, but I will tell you when I made it, I don't think I put a defragmentation program on it, so I'll look at it at the same time. It'll come up a little quicker. As soon as that's done copying here, I'm copying the image to my hard drive. You can use that. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at a couple things first. First, I'm going to show you the Windows defragmentation program, which in my opinion sucks. Okay, this is the best Windows defragmentation program, and it's only slightly better than other ones. So if you want to defragment using the Windows program, you just go to the hard drive that you want to go to. So I go to Computers, I'd right-click, and I'd go to Properties, and then in there I see the tools, and I can do error checking, I can do fragmentation, and I can back it out. So if I want to use the Windows tool, I just hit defragment, and I can analyze the disk. It doesn't give us nearly the amount of information that the ASLogix one I showed you or defragler gives us. It kind of just shows us how much it's fragmented. In fact, I'm going to download the other two while this one is running because it's not very fast, and it doesn't give us. It's defragler. And you have, I think I showed you before, you have free or professional, and free is just fine for me. So I'm going to go ahead and set up defragler while that one's still running. Yeah, I want to run it. Next, I don't want to add any of this extra stuff. I'm just going to put it on my desktop and my start menu. And I have to watch to make sure there's no write-on programs, and there almost always is anymore when you get free stuff. Make sure you just don't click through it, so I don't want to add anything new to there. And there's defragler installed right there. Close this stuff and we'll see where this is fragment. I'm going to shoot this and okay, so it's still only at 36% analyzed on that one. Let's see how defragler does in comparison to the Windows one. Go ahead and hit analyze on the Windows drive. Do you want to empty the free space? Now we'll do that right now. So how long will it take defragler to do the same thing that the Windows program has been doing the whole time that it took us to download and install it? And let's see. Who won the speed test on that sucker? Right? Windows is still analyzing. It's got 51% analyzed in the amount of time we just downloaded and installed. So when I say the Windows program kind of stinks, I'm not kidding. Okay. So this is our table that we see on this, and on this one we see and if we put our cursor on stuff, we can see what's in. Do I have to click on it? Yes, I have to click on it. We can see what's in that particular block that we're looking at. And when we look at that, really we're looking at a table of the sectors that are divided up on hard disks. So the hard disk is divided. Hard disk. You know what? I can use a drawing tool, and I look like I'm an artiste. I'll do it this way. So the hard drive. Ooh, I'm going to do a new page. Then I'll really look like an artist on this. Okay, so our hard drive. Can I do this? You put them inside of each other? Let's see if I can. Here we go. Oh, really? I ended up with the exact same size circle? Okay, there. is divided up started this project a long time ago, didn't I? So the hard drive is divided up into all these, I'm going to use black, and all these sectors, and so there's kind of, think of it as different tracks, and in each one, there's all these sectors that are in the hard drive, okay? Now, when we defragment, what we're doing is trying to put all this stuff together. But as we use a hard drive, sectors can go bad. And if in the process of this hard drive being used over time, and in the case of the one that we just fixed downstairs, well, fixed, replaced, that computer is running 24/7, 365, recording video every minute of every day. So the operating system, that hard drive is running all the time. It doesn't maintain the video on that hard drive, but all the programs are on that hard drive. And it's been running for probably, I'm going to guess, 8 or 9 years. Okay? So over that amount of time, sectors all over the hard drive slowly go bad. And what happens is Windows has no idea that those are bad, and so it writes on it. And if that happens to be where it was getting ready to write at, and it writes right there, and it's bad, too bad for you. That's your paper. Okay? So when hard drives go bad, and like when we do that hard drive test that we did the other day and we find bad ones, what we're really finding is not that the whole hard drive has failed, but that an unacceptable number of sectors on the hard drive has failed. Okay? If the hard drive failed altogether, and that happens, then we'll put a hard drive in a computer, and the computer won't boot at all. And when I say won't boot at all, I have hard drives that if they're plugged in, it won't even start the BIOS. That's how bad the hard drive is. Okay? Internally, the circuitry is so bad that by even having it physically connected, the computer won't boot at all. And then I unplug the cable, and all of a sudden the computer boots. Okay? That's a completely failed hard drive, and you are hosed if there's something really important on that hard drive. However, the hard drive that failed, like when you guys did tests, did you guys have any bad ones? The other class had 2 bad ones.
We had 1.
You guys had 1. Is that number 3 in the elementary school? Okay, so got that. Okay, so that one is bad. But what does bad mean? Bad means that according to its test, an unacceptable number of sectors are found. That it's saying, you know what, if it's got that many, maybe your whole hard drive is going to fail soon, so you should replace it. It doesn't necessarily mean that anybody's even lost anything yet. We could conceivably, on a student machine, leave a bad hard drive in for a long period of time. Because what happens? All of a sudden, Dylan says, hey, machine number 3 won't boot. And I say, hey, Dylan, go read image number 3. And it goes and wipes the whole thing, and now machine number 3 works again. And then all of a sudden, it uses that bad area of the hard drive again. Machine 3 doesn't work anymore. And we re-image it, and it works again. Who's it hurt? All it hurts is the people going in the lab that sit down at number 3, and it's like, God, number 3 is busted again. But no one lost anything, right? Because you guys save everything to your H drive or your S drive. But there are some things we can do to avoid this happening on the near term. In other words, I have one maybe that's got some bad sectors, but it's not bad enough for it to fail. But the last thing you want to do is have your PowerPoint presentation being saved to that sector, right? Because it's not failing, but you just lost it. So what we can do is we can do something called scan disking, which is the exact same spot we were just at when we looked at the tools. So when I go to this and I go right click and I go properties and I go to tools, one of the things I can do is error check. And really what it's doing, it's going to go through, if I did that, I'm not going to do it because then all your T drives would be, or all your student drives would be kind of hosed for a little while. You can go and say automatically fix, and you can say scan for and attempt recovery of bad sectors. And that's not done by default because that requires a restart of your system. But if you do that, it's going to go through the whole hard drive, find bad sectors, and if it can't repair them, it's going to say, don't ever use this one again. This is a really good thing to do on your system at home every once in a while. Okay? Especially if you're seeing things not open all the time, something's not working right. If you run that, at least it marks these spots that I was just talking about as bad on your hard drive, and then Windows will never use them again. It's going to say, hey, avoid that area, avoid that area. And so as it's writing on your hard drive, it won't write there anymore. So that's what a scan does for you when you're looking at hard drives. Okay. So today, here I replaced one of these, and we upgraded to Windows 7, and we tried to do it for, I don't know, 5 hours yesterday, and we're unsuccessful. I don't like getting beaten by a machine, so I had to make one more attempt, and we won. Yay, today. So anyway, so what are you guys doing? What are we up to now? So you guys have one research project that you're doing 2 different things on. Okay, you're doing 2 totally separate things on the same research project. I clicked on the wrong one. And by the way, next year you'll get your minion name. So there you go. There's our minion names. Carl, that's Kevin. I just did that because I was funny with it. So we're doing one hard drive research project, but you're going to have 2 outputs of it, okay, of the exact same project. So if we go down here and look, I don't know, did you guys all choose your presentation topics yesterday? Okay, so you're going to do a blog and a PowerPoint presentation on the exact same thing. So as you're doing your research, you're going to be building your PowerPoint. If you want to build this and then this, the PowerPoint is due the first class next week. Okay? So as you're doing this research, you're basically doing the same thing. This is writing exercise, and this is a presentation to the whole class, because the whole class may or may not read your points. But if you looked and read it, it's the exact same thing. The difference is, hey, this is what you're covering in the blog, and the other one says, this is what you're covering in the PowerPoint. Because I want you to guys continue to write, okay? So you guys should get out your laptops, start doing your research on the one you're going to buy. But you have 2 things. You have a PowerPoint, which is really short and easy, and then the blog post as well. Okay? If you have any questions about it, just let me know.